Hi everyone, welcome to Raw Impact Online Yoga and Wellness. I'm Melissa from Untitled Yoga and I'm here today to take you through our 45-minute Hatha flow. Today I'm going to run through what's called alternate nostril breathing. It's a practice that helps to take the inhale and exhale of our breath and basically carry the life force through all of our passages to create energy and to also help create calm, to settle the nervous system. But yogic beliefs is that by doing the alternate nostril breathing, it clears and purifies our nadis, which is the life force energy that gets carried throughout our body. So not only will we be running through that to start with, but also looking a lot into our awareness and how we're feeling at the moment. There's changes every day to what's going on in our world, and it can really affect the way that our nervous system is. It can affect the way our thoughts are. It can affect the way that we interact with others, or at the moment a lot of people aren't interacting with others, which is quite scary. So just noticing and being aware of what's going on within yourself at the moment, both body and mind, and trying to help you to be able to notice these things, maybe create some space around them, let them come and flow, let them roll in and out like the waves of the ocean. I don't know however you want to put it, but just to try and help you to be able to create some calm back in your world if it's getting a little uneasy. I know out here in the Central West things are looking very different to what they did a week ago. So just basically helping you to become aware of what's going on in your mind and body at any given moment, and how to create space around that. And we will get started today. If you have any restrictions in movement, please listen to your body. I'm here as a guide to guide you through your practice and your flow. So just listening to where you're at. If something doesn't feel right, please come out of that pose and maybe readjust or wait until we move into the next pose. But otherwise, we shall get started today in a cross-legged seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, lengthening out through the crown of the head. Just taking any adjustments there that you might need to. Maybe sitting up on a pillow if you need to elevate the hips a little bit more, if it's a bit uncomfortable. We'll be here for a few minutes, so just finding that comfortable seat wherever it might be for you. Maybe the legs are crossed, maybe one's on top of the other, maybe one's out in front. When you're ready, closing down the eyes, resting the hands and the arms wherever they feel comfortable. Just bringing your body and your mind to your mat. Creating awareness about the breath, about the body, and how it's feeling right in this moment. Maybe there's a bit of tension in the hips. Maybe you might need to readjust something. Maybe your bra strap's annoying you, maybe your tights are annoying you, maybe the feet just aren't in the correct position. Just readjusting the physical body to become comfortable in your seat. Now bringing your awareness to the mind, to your emotions, to the breath. Is the breath fast and choppy? Is it slow and steady? Is there a million thoughts running through your mind right in this moment? Or is there calm in the storm? Maybe you're finding a way to create space around those thoughts, to become present on your mat right now. Creating that awareness in the mind and in the body. When you're ready, just creating a small soft fist in front of your face. The thumb comes to the right nostril. The ring finger comes out to the left side of the nostril. Feel free to open your eyes here if you want so you can see what we're doing. We're going to block the right nostril off. Take a nice deep inhale in through the left nostril. Pause at the top. Close the left nostril. Open the right and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold, swap your fingers, open the left nostril, exhale through the left side. Inhale through left side. Pause, hold at the top, switch the fingers, open the right, exhale through the right nostril. Again, inhale through the right, clearing out the nostrils, clearing out those nadis. Close, swapping sides, open the left and exhale. Inhale through the left. Pause at the top, open the right, exhale through the right nostril. Just running through a few more there on your own. Carrying that life force energy throughout your body. Nice deep inhales, nice long slow exhales to also help calm the mind, calm the nervous system. Inhale again. Hold at the top, opposite finger opens the nostril, exhale. Inhale. Hold and close that side off. Open the opposite side and exhale. One more there on your own. Nice deep inhales. Nice long slow exhales. When you're ready, dropping the hands back down. Maybe closing those eyes down again. Notice if you feel anything different in the body. Maybe you can feel that energy flowing through the body more comfortably, more easily. Maybe you've noticed the breath become less choppy and less fast in and out through the nose. And when you're ready, opening up the eyes. Moving into our hero's pose. So keep the feet out to the side. Coming up onto those knees, either keeping those feet tucked, sitting back onto the heels. Otherwise, if that's a little bit too much and a little uncomfortable, just untucking the toes, sitting back into our regular hero's pose. Closing down the eyes. Just creating a few small circles here with the neck nice and steady to start with. Just creating some movement. When you get back to center, rotating nice and slowly the opposite direction. Trying to keep that breath flowing with the movements. When you're finished, inhaling the head back up to center, lifting up out through the crown of the head. Inhale the hands overhead, open the eyes, lift the gaze if that feels okay. Hands come down to heart center. One more time, inhale those hands up and over. Lift the gaze if that feels okay. This time creating a big circle back down. Behind the back, either interlacing the fingers or grabbing hold of opposite forearms, opposite elbows, wherever you can reach today, cinching those fingers in as far as you can get them. At the same time, still lifting up through the spine, through the crown of the head, opening up through the shoulders, the collarbones, tipping the head so the right ear is reaching for that right shoulder. Again, eyes can be closed here or open, whatever feels comfortable for you. Keep those breaths nice and deep, nice and steady. Stay here for one more exhale. And as you inhale, lift that chin up towards the sky. At the same time, still reaching that right ear to the right shoulder. Keep that breath steady. Stay for the inhale. And as you exhale, slowly drop that shoulder, that chin towards the right shoulder. Still sitting up nice and tall. Keeping those shoulder blades down the back. Opening up through the collarbones, the chest at the same time. When you're ready, slowly bring that head back to neutral. Drop the hands. Bring them out to rest on top of the knees. Feeling that blood flow back into the arms. Become aware of how your body is feeling. Maybe one feels tighter than the other. Maybe you can feel that blood rushing more on one side than the other. When you're ready, opening the eyes, circle the arms all the way overhead, lift the gaze if that feels okay, hands come together, coming over into our tabletop position. Shoulders are stacked under those wrists, hips are stacked over the knees. Knees are hip width apart. Rounding down through the hands. No dumping in the shoulders. Keep them nice and strong. The left hand comes forward. Locking on that core. If this is enough, please stay here. If not, lifting the right leg, coming into our balancing table. Staying here for 3 breaths. Finding your balance, grounding down through the knee and the hand, lifting up through the hand and the foot. When you're ready, drop the hand down to meet the other. Slowly shifting that lifted foot over to the left-hand side of the the left leg. So we're coming into a nice stretch down the side body, down the side of that leg, maybe even pressing into those hands to push that booty back create some more stretch down the side of that leg. When you're ready, inhale that leg back up again. Point the toes to the back of the room. Exhale the knee down to the mat. Sitting back up into our hero's pose. Inhale the hands overhead. Exhale, hands through the heart center. One more time, open the hands all out to the sky. Gaze lifts if that feels okay. Hands come wide into a nice big circle. Behind the back, either interlace the fingers the uncomfortable way or reaching back for the opposite elbows. So the hands are holding on to the forearms, the elbows, the uncomfortable way. Whatever is not the way that you would usually go, we often always create the posture in a comfortable way. Sometimes we live life in the comfortable way too. It's nice to just create some difference, to try and sit with the uncomfortable that may arise. Closing down the eyes if that feels okay. The left ear comes towards the left shoulder. At the same time, drawing those shoulders back and down. Opening through the chest, opening through the collarbones, opening through the neck. Keep those inhales and exhales nice and deep. And when you're ready, slowly lifting the chin up, still trying to pull the ear towards that left shoulder, but tilting the chin at the same time. Just noticing what might arise here. This can be quite intense, quite a lot of tension can be held through the neck and the shoulders. Just becoming aware of what may arise. Trying to create some space around that. Maybe just letting the thoughts flow in and out. Tilting the chin down towards that shoulder. Still pulling the knee towards the ear. Pulling those shoulders back. You may feel a tingling in the fingers, maybe in that right arm or left arm. When you're ready, bringing your head back to center. Slowly unraveling those arms. Just noticing what arises when those hands come back to the knees. Do the arms feel light and floaty? Do the hands feel like the blood's rushing back to them? Maybe the tips of the fingers are pulsating with that blood flowing through again. Just become aware of how you feel right now. When you're ready, open the eyes, coming forward into our tabletop. Shoulders are stacked over those wrists. Hips stacked over the ankles, knees as wide as the hips. No jumping through the shoulders, staying nice and strong, wrapping those triceps around the back. Grounding down through the left hand, lock the core on, lifting up that right hand. Staying here if this feels enough for you. Otherwise, lifting that left leg up, pointing the toes towards the back of the room into our balancing table. Trying to keep the breath nice and steady. One more breath here. As you exhale, the hand plants back down to the ground. That left foot comes over to the other side of the right leg, putting the foot to the floor, pressing back into the hands, creating a nice stretch down the side of the leg. Also into the opposite leg down the side. Maybe pressing into the hands to press that bottom back a little further, pressing into that foot a little more. Stay for the exhale. Inhaling that leg back up to center. Exhale, drop the knee down to the floor. Tucking our toes, coming into our first downward dog. Rounding through the hands, pressing the chest back towards the feet. Knees as bent as you need them to be. At the same time as the heels are pulling down towards the mat. Neck and the head and the shoulders are heavy here. Stay for your next exhale, and as you inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet, gazing forward, tiptoeing, stepping, shuffling, however you get to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward, folding over those legs. Again, bending through the knees as much as you need to here. Maybe adding a sway if that feels okay. What does your body need right now, right in this moment? Stillness, or maybe a little movement. When you're ready, plant the hands. Inhale for a halfway lift, either to the shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, forward folding. Inhaling one vertebrae at a time. All the way up to our mountain, shoulder roll at the top. Arms come wide into a circle, hands join at the top. Exhale through to heart center. Again, inhaling, hands circle all the way to the top. Hands come together, exhale, hands through heart center. Tilting at the hips forward, folding over those legs. Inhale for a halfway lift. Hands plant to the mat, stepping right foot followed by the left into our downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out the feet, creating some movement here if that's what you need. Maybe finding stillness and creating some space. Inhale to the balls of the feet, gazing forwards, tiptoeing to the front of your mat once more, however you get there. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale for a halfway lift, fingertips to the floor, to the shins. Exhale, forward folding over those legs. Bend through the knees as much as you need. Straightening out if that feels okay. With each exhale, pulling that chest a little closer to the legs. Tilting the hips up to the sky. When you're ready, slowly inhaling one vertebrae at a time. All the way up to our mountain. Shoulder roll at the top, hands come overhead. Hands come together through to the heart center. Just closing down the eyes here for a moment. Feeling those feet grounding down into the floor. If the mind has wandered, bringing it back to the breath. When you're ready, drop the hands, open the eyes. Just coming up into our stalk pose here. So grounding down through the left foot. Pulling the knee up to a 90-degree angle. Just turn the side on so you can see. Foot flexes back towards the shin. Hands come to heart center, come out wide, wherever you need to find some balance. Maybe a chair, maybe a lounge. Just finding some balance here in our stalk pose. If this is enough for you, please feel free to stay here, grounding down through that left foot, locking the core on for some balance. Otherwise, grabbing hold of that foot as best you can, slowly trying to straighten out through the leg, holding on to that foot, either pistol grip around the toe or grabbing hold of the outside of that foot. Straightening out as best you can, at the same time lifting up through the spine, lifting up through the crown of the head. Maybe using that opposite hand to balance the body. Try not to let that breath get choppy. When you're ready, bending through that knee, letting go of the foot, finding that balance in stalk pose once more. Dropping the foot to the floor. Pedaling out the knees. If you need to. Finding our mountain, open the palms, close down the eyes if that feels okay. Grounding down through those feet, finding your balance once more. Feeling grounded and connected. Not only to the mat and the floor, but to yourself. To that inner goddess or God that is inside you. When you're ready, grounding down through the opposite foot, lifting the foot to the knee to a 90-degree angle. Maybe staying here if that feels okay. Maybe you need a chair, lounge to help with the balance, whatever works for you. Work on that core. When you're ready, however you get there, grabbing hold of that foot, whether it's the outside of the foot or pistol grip on the big toe, whatever works for you. Straightening out through that leg as best you can. Sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head. Have a little giggle at yourself if you lose that balance. It's not necessarily about how the pose looks, but it's the journey to how we get there. That often matters the most. Stay for one more inhale. And as you exhale, bending through that knee, coming back into our stalk, grounding down through both feet, opening them hip distance apart, opening the hands up into our mountain. Let that love, that light float through the body. Stand tall. And when you're ready, the heels, the feet, the insides of the sides of the feet come together. We're going to slowly crouch down into a closed-legged squat. From here, opening the knees up wide, trying to keep those feet together if that feels okay. If this is enough for you, please feel free to stay here, using the hands as balance. If you have a little more balance or a little more to give, to open up through those hips, hands come to the heart center, folding from the hips. Try not to round through the back just yet. Folding from the hips, opening those knees up to either side. Find one spot to focus on out in front. Embrace the wobbles if you've got them. this is too intense on the knees, please come out of this pose. Got a little more. Hands and the forearms come out in front onto the floor in front of you. Rounding through the upper back, through the shoulders. Drop that head and the neck down to the floor. Really intense through the knees and the hips, this one. So please listen to your body and where you're at right now. Be aware of what you need. Stay here for the exhale. And as you inhale, coming back up onto the hands. Knees come together, hands come behind you. Sitting the bottom down to the mat. Connecting into the floor. Rolling one vertebrae at a time down to the mat. Knees stay bent, feet flat on the floor. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Tuck the toes back towards the shin. Exhale that foot, the right ankle to the left knee, opening up through the hip. A beautiful girlfriend of mine likes to call these a G&T in her flows because she says that that's how good this stretch is for her legs and her hips. Inhale, pull that knee into the chest, coming behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Pulling that left knee in as close as what your body will let you. Using the exhale to pull it in a little further. Just be aware of what might arise here. Maybe some emotion, maybe some thoughts, maybe some resistance. Try and use that breath to work through that and create some space. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, release the knee. The left foot comes flat to the floor. Exhaling those knees over to the left-hand side, keeping that ankle connected to the knee. Maybe placing the left hand to the right knee. Pull that knee down towards the mat. Right arm opens up as wide as your room. Maybe the gaze can float over that right hand. As we slow down towards the end of our practice, trying to keep our mind on the mat, our mind and the focus aware of where we are right in this moment. Nowhere else to be, nowhere else to go. Be here, be present. When you're ready, let go of that knee. Slowly bring those knees back up to center. Unravel the foot off that knee, lifting the left leg high to the sky, flexing those toes back towards the shin. Exhale the ankle to the knee, opening up through the left side. Staying here if this feels okay. Otherwise, reaching through behind the thigh or in front of the shin, grabbing hold of that right knee, pulling it in towards the chest. At the same time, gently opening up through the left knee. Use the exhale to pull that knee in a little closer. Pulling the awareness back if it starts to float away. When you're ready here, dropping that foot down to the mat. Dropping the knees to the right hand side, a gentle twist through the back. Opening the left hand out towards as wide as the room. Maybe gazing over that left hand. Just letting everything relax here. Letting your body fall to where it needs to be. With each exhale, letting the body relax more. Falling heavier and heavier into that pose. When you're ready, bringing both knees back up to center, connecting the spine back to the mat, both feet to the floor, pulling those knees into the chest for a nice bear hug, maybe a little rock from side to side. Coming down to meet me in our Shavasana. Legs come as long as the mat, feet falling out to the sides, hands by your sides, out wide, overhead. Wherever feels comfortable for you right now. Closing down those eyes. Letting the whole body relax into the floor. When you found that comfy position, just closing down the eyes if you haven't already. Beginning to breathe into the body. Letting the breath flood from the crown of the head all the way to the tips of your toes. Becoming aware of the sounds around you. Maybe the temperature of the room or the surrounds that you're in. Become aware of the clothes sitting on the body. The body falling heavy into your mat. At the same time, relaxing everything, including the shoulders, the hips, the feet. Remove the tongue from the top of your mouth. Let it relax. With each breath you take, expanding through the front and the back body and all the way down both sides. Sweeping out and letting go of as much tension as you can. Letting the tiredness drift away. Making space in areas of resistance in both mind and body. Use your breath to soften with each inhale and every exhale. Inhale, create space. Exhale, soften. Inhale, create space. Exhale, soften. Melting down into your mat. If your mind happens to wander over the next few moments, just bringing it back to the breath. Try not to let it create tension if it wanders or if you get frustrated with it, just creating space And bringing the awareness back to the breath. When you're ready, making your next inhale longer and deeper than the last. Bring some awareness to the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, rolling onto your right hand side. Just spending a few moments here to observe what's happened in those moments of silence. Observing the shifts that may have been made and created in the mind and the body. Noticing how you feel right now. When you're ready, slowly coming up to meet me in a cross-legged seated position. Hands come to the heart center, bowing the head just a little. Thank you for meeting me on the mat today. Together we bow our heads and say namaste.